You didn't know about the chest trick? Yeah, it's actually on the mod page for the bulk rail loaders, unloaders. Uh, it actually says you can put chests next to the thing and it will unload to the chests. The other trick is the chest size doesn't matter. So, in this case, I'm using a 1x1, but if I put a warehouse down, it'll be shoving the stuff into the warehouse next door. So, just interesting things to note. If you have the room to place a warehouse with a tile there, it should unload into it. Like that should theoretically work in concept anyway. Like if I put this here, yeah, you see it's now going to shove into this warehouse from the bulk rail unloader. You can see the arrows there, the like inserter arrows pointing from here to the warehouse. It will totally do that. And another train came in. We are at a total of 9.2. We're almost at 9.6. Once we pass 9.6, the light will go off. Light will go off and we'll no longer be requesting trains. Okay. For the sand castings build. Well, think of it this way. It's not so much the space that gets added. It's not so much the space. It's the fact that you can then offload the entirety of the warehouse as well, right? You can then offload the from the entirety of the warehouse. And I have made a very big mistake. I have made a mistake. There we go. Phew. That was almost disaster. Anyway. That helps. Quite a bit. So, I was looking for stuff. I need tar processing units. Whoop, I need these. Yes, these. A few tar processing units. I don't really know exactly how many I need. I need soil extractors. I don't need olefin plants and that sort of stuff. Just trying to think exactly the things I need. I don't need the electrolyzers. Definitely need these. I definitely need washers. If I can find them. Washers. Hello? I think that's actually just about it outside of some tar extractors. And that will be that. That's all I really need for the sand castings setup. So, for reference, sand castings, first you need creosote, and then you make the sand castings. Yep, first creosote, then sand castings. Sand castings, each one is 20, and each one of these makes 26 and 2/3. So, effectively 1-to-1, but at scale, not so much. I might not actually stack these. We shall see. Depends. How many of these would be 300? 12. 12 and 15, 27. And then 400 is going to be 4 tar extractors. So I need a few more of these. I just said 27, right? So that's 27. That'll be the numbers. That's 2 yellow belts worth of sand castings. Good for a start, and I can of course scale that however I want. Could also do this through through tar made out of one of these setups. I could make tar out of this, copy this and paste it a whole bunch of times, and I could literally set sand castings up anywhere on the map. Even doesn't even need to be near a source of tar, if I wanted to do that. Speaking of where I want to do that, this is probably a very convenient location, because I can extend my rail out. It doesn't block any of these tars out here, and I can actually do my station and build up here to the north of the line. So that is exactly what I'm going to do, because it's not going to involve quite as much rail in all actuality. Always confused by that being empty. That T intersection being empty. Now, if I could just not hit all of the rocks along the way, my rock finder on my car works very well, as is the tree finder. Tree finder's working very well these days. Hello, Rock. Nice to see you, Rock. Remember, the trains are right-hand drive, so it would come up from behind me if there was a train coming, which gives just that much more time to react, because you're also moving in the same direction as the train, so the relative velocity is a lot lower compared to if it was coming at you head-on. This also gives me closer access to my power by tapping into these tar pits. Remembering that I only actually need 4 of these to get sufficient amounts of tar for what I need right now. Later on, what I might be interested in doing... I'm not. I should be. Get rid of the wood, please. Later on, I might be interested in training in additional tar for this setup, if I were so inclined. If I decide that I want to go all the way down to this bottom corner, and tap all of this tar down here, and start providing tar on the train network that way, that would be an idea. However, there are, like... Let's see, there's 4, 5, 6... There's 10 here, right? 10 here? That would be quite a lot of sand castings. Quite a lot of sand castings. I may need some more, medium poles, now that I'm thinking about it. What is the fastest way of getting to power? There or there? It's actually going to be from extending the train rail out. And in all actuality, I think my depot exit and entry, I'm going to put a standard straight segment if I can find it. Where's my... Here? Standard straight segment, and then another exit, and then an entry. And I am out of lights. Oh noes. I am out of lights. Alright, so this will be the exit. There'll be another straight. And then an entry. Now, the terminology here can be a little bit confusing. The blueprint has depot exit. That is the exit of the depot from the depot's perspective, and then the depot entrance is from the depot's perspective. So this goes out into the depot. This is the train highway exit ramp to the depot, and this is the on-ramp onto the highway from the depot. So this will right-hand drive out to the left and down to the right. That is how the signals are set up there. Now over here, there should be a redundant signal? Maybe? No. No, not when I build it like this. There can be redundant signals on occasion with this blueprint setup. Right there, there's a redundant signal here, this one that it placed. And it's like that with the depot entrance. This is a rather large forest. It would be a shame if anything were to happen to it. Actually, I don't... Sadly, I am not carrying around... Oop, that is not the one that I wanted. This is the one that I want. Right here. It would be a shame if anything were to happen to this forest. I don't have my termite ammo on me, which is a shame. Termite ammo would clear this forest within seconds, but it would also, like, kill the train tracks that I had laid as well. I am going to avoid this lake, by the way. And just looking at the time, I'm seeing that my alarm to take a break is going to go off within the minute. Within a minute. I will very quickly bring power to these. Start hooking them up. And then we'll... Actually, I can just do this, can't I? Yeah. And there's the alarm. There's my alarm. It is 11:30 in the morning. And with that, we are halfway through the stream. I will be taking a brief, approximately 3-minute break. When I return, I will be setting up the sand castings production, as well as the station and depot area for the sand castings that will be providing the sand castings at the moment just to copper, but will soon also expand into iron. And once this has finished being set up, we will go over and start setting up the iron processing using unslimed iron. I will, of course, be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back. It is now time to finish / to set up the sandcasting production area so that we can then get to work on setting up the unslimed iron processing facility. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. So first off, I need to set up exactly where this is all going, which means I need to bring these glorious things across the tracks. My wonderful and beautiful niobium pipes makes this somewhat trivial. Just gotta clear out a good space for all of this. Get rid of all this stuff, please. And I should have more nanobot ammo in the car, wherever I left it. Where did I leave it? There. Why is it way down there? Why does it always have to be way down there? Also, for safety's sake, I think I'm going to plop down another tar pit just to be absolutely certain that I have enough. These are going to be producing 100 units of tar per cycle. At Mark 1 of these buildings, a cycle is 1 second, so in this case it would be 100 tar per second. The actual number lies, unless it was a value less than 100, in which case it would not be lying, but in this case, the numbers, due to the resource patch density, this whole 20,000 per second, that is a lie. It will not be able to produce more than 100 units per second. I have tested this with direct feeding into pumps, into big tanks. I have tested direct feeding into tanks as well. So putting a tank down directly onto an output, as well as putting a pump into a tank, and it will only ever be 100 units per second. It is just a limitation of vanilla fluid mechanics on the extractor type buildings. It's just a limitation. They can only output 100 per second. It's super sad. It's very very sad. But that is the case. Let's try to make something a little bit more manageable with the rails this time around. I'm actually going to probably do the tar stuff here. The tar processing into sand castings and the actual sand. Oops, I need more ammo. Need more ammo for this. Let's actually pull all of my ammo. So if I look at the tar processing units, if I put down the one for the sand castings, this tells me I need 75 per second on sand. I do hope that I have enough buildings for 75 units per second of sand. If I used Hellmod, if I push I and I set up a new thingy here and I put in sand casting to grab that recipe, and I say, hey, let's do 30 out of sand castings. It does tell me 75 of sand. Sand, of course, is made, in this case, it will be made from soil. This tells me I would need 225 units per second of soil. This will also give me a good idea of the numbers of buildings. 30 washers. I have 40, which is fine, but I likely don't have enough soil extractors on me for 225 soil. Yeah, if it's going to be 14 Mark 4s, that's going to be 63 Mark 1s. Oh boy. I've got 40, so I need 23 more, so I will need to take another trip back. In the alternative, I could bring iron in to make iron sticks to do soil through sand extractor buildings. but I'm not going to do that. Why would I? Why would I spend iron to get sand? Why? Why would I spend iron to get sand? I have no idea. Also, I need to do this creosote from tar just to tell me that this is 12 and 15. 12 and 15. It's actually 375 total tar per second. And of course, where this building is, it's going to be tar in, creosote out, and 12 of these. Now, more often than not, what I end up doing is I end up placing all of the buildings down, and then placing down the pipes, and then copying all the pipes together, when I really shouldn't be doing that. I should be copying a completed setup of the building, and then pasting, and then pasting, and then pasting, like that, to help speed up the whole process. That's actually significantly faster than the way I end up defaulting to doing this. Oh, and I should have also put the power pole in there as well, but didn't. Oops. That is a waste of power poles. Power poles should be one further out to give the max distance for better coverage, which wouldn't actually be copyable like I did there. These have no solid input or output, which makes the powering of them a lot easier, makes the placement a lot easier. It's just going to be the pipe in. Oops. Gosh, I love the underground distance of these. By comparison to iron, I have missed the niobium pipes greatly. Granted, they're not as useful here. Iron would suffice, but niobium. Niobium is shiny. Shiny, chrome, beautiful things. And then it's 15. 15. In this case, it's... Yeah, sure, we'll set up like this. And this is going to need input and output. 5 per second sand. I think technically I do have stack size 2 now, so blue inserter might cover it. A single blue. Could absolutely be wrong about that though. Might not even be 2. I always forget the throughput of inserters from belt to, in this case it would be belt to chest. Where is that? I've got that bookmarked. I have that bookmarked. Where? Here, inserters, please. Tell me the belt to chest, perpendicular, fast inserter, capacity. So standard is 2.5, so yeah, it should be 5-ish. Or at least somewhere in there, but it's not exactly 5. Just due to the swing speed. It does go up from 2.5, but it doesn't double, sadly, so I will need 2. And I will need to have a belt there, and then the output belt. The output belt's direction will depend upon where I want to have the station. So let's think about the station a little bit. Because I will need a station and I will need a depot for said station. Now, one thing I am considering is if I do the station here, this should be enough space for 6, for a train of 6. If I go up and start swinging around, that can be the depots right there. That can be the depots. So similar to this, it's a little bit different spacing. But yeah, this can be a great spot for... Oops. That went a little too long. This can be the depots. They can go up and they can swing around and out here. And that will be that build. Remember, the depots, the depot is just where it sits. Nothing actually happens at the depots, so the spacing could actually be made a lot tighter than this. I don't know if this is going to be how I want to have this, though. Because this spacing's a bit off, you might be able to tell. Like, this spacing is just a little bit off. Oh, that wasn't a cut, that was a copy. Ugh. I hate when I mistake a cut and a copy. But at least that's even spacing. Do I have enough room for the signals, though? That's the other point. And 4 should be way more than enough. You have to think that that's 4 trains. Come on. Ugh. Come on. Nope, didn't want that last one. There we go. That is not even spacing, is it? That is even spacing. Alrighty then. Signals. Chain. We are coming in from below. Oh, and I do need a pass through as well, so I will probably do that. Yes, this is gonna come in. Yeah, I usually also build a pass through here, so let's build the pass through. That's too far. This could actually be the pass through, but yeah, that's better. The issue is just actually attaching this. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, it's gonna get moved up a few tiles. It's gonna get moved up to about there. Because effectively the bottom one now is going to be the pass-through. This top one is going to be the actual station. Granted, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I would need to have that pass through there, but you never know. You never know when a train might need to have that pass through or passing location to go around the train stop to somehow get up to this depot. You know, if I ever say I ever make another spot where I do additional sand castings, I would, and say in that other location I would want to send it to the existing depot, it's going to need to get around this station here that's loading up the stuff. So that is the exact reasoning to have this. That is not the correct way. This way. Yeah, that's better. Do that. Let's see. How far up are we going? I was not paying attention. It was that. That sounds right to me. Seems about right to me. Of course, it all needs signals, and then it all needs to combine back into one. And then go swinging back around to here. So, do I want it a little bit longer? I think that would be a good length, and then everyone can meet back up together. Give a little bit more room in case I want to add any additional depots, and then it can go down, but I do need the exact spacing for you. So it would actually be better to just bring it up from there. There we go. Signals. Signals, stations, and all that good stuff. So here, this will be a standard train stop. Right around here. This will get removed. Some of this rail will be removed for the actual bulk rail loaders. But it's just there for now as a wonderful template. Do I want them all the way at the end? Not really. These will go right here. Sure, I'll keep one empty, and it will be a this will be a passing lane. Does it need to be though? Not really. But I'll keep it like this. This will be some color somewhat similar to sand castings. And this will be Sand Castings Depot 1. And then, of course, shift right-click and left-click on the other depots to assign the same thing to it. This will be Sand Castings Supply 1. Give it similar-ish color. And that's that. As simple as that is, quote-unquote simple as that is glorious. Now, I will note that, yes, I could just do a passing, straight-up passing station, another line going up here and in, just going from here to here as a bypass, but I don't foresee ever needing that type of a bypass here. The trains will go with reason. So, signals. Glorious signals. This signal will need to be replaced with a chain signal. And then these can be standard rails. right here and here. And then after 6 train lengths-ish, get one right here. That has the station. I think the station itself counts as a signal.